Bless up, ABR family and viewers. Welcome back to another live video. Hope that you all are hearing me and hearing me clear. Please, everybody, check in on the live. We have a few topics here to speak on. We're seeing the Labourites, them coming out now, trying to do damage control. Damage control. Big up yourself, I speak my mind. Big up Bolo, bless up yourself, my brother. Big up to all the other social media warriors. Big up to my members, Angela, Yvonne Wallace, and Charm B. You too can be a member of the Anisabel Rose movement. You get members badges beside your name. You stand out in the comment section. You get members shout out. You get a whole lot of benefits becoming a member. You get members only videos. And the list goes on and on. So please, to support the membership, if you don't want to donate to the channel, you can donate by becoming a member. Still getting a lot of benefits by becoming a member. Big up to all the moderators them. Much respect. Thanks for the continued support. And so we have a few things on the agenda to speak on. I hope everybody is hearing me well. I'm having some issues with my device. And so I'm getting an echoing feedback each time I'm playing the videos on the live. So bear with me, please, and thanks. Big up yourself, Shamar Hamilton, Danet Harriet, Jimmy G. Big up Lee Respectford. Big up Miss Winnie, Pat W. Arlene From. Big up to all of my dear ones them. Please, as you come on the live, please to like and share with the live. Big up yourself, member Charm B. Much respect. Donna Fraser. Welcome. So, I'm going to sit on the screen here. So we're talking about in this live session, we're going to be speaking on the, mounting pressures as it pertains to, transparency and openness of this FID appointment of Dennis Chung. And of lately, we see in the PSOJ, which we don't really want to hear nothing from them. Because in the initial phase, when it was, out in the media space that Dennis Chung would have taken over at the Financial Investigation Division, they came out, I believe, few days after that's the PSOJ, and they said that they supported Dennis Chung at the FID. So I don't know what Petrie, Citri, or whatever his name want be, coming out to say that they're demanding transparency on this appointment of Dennis Chung. We also learned that the access to information has been blocked. We've seen the Gleaner, mainstream media in particular, wanting some information as it surrounds this appointment and what were the shortlisted persons. Who else were shortlisted? Because we know that he was chosen in a second round of, interview. We also know that a Fitzbailey was chosen in the first round, and it is said that he declined. I'm not sure if the offer at Turks and Caicos, with him being the commissioner of police over there, was a better offer for him, and so he took up that job over there. But I see the information minister, who happens to be the education minister, who goes by the name of Dana Morris Dixon, coming out basically, trying to say that they're coming out to give us some information as to why Dennis Chung was chosen. And before me even play her footage, I just want the people in the back to understand what took place, and that a most important part of the criteria for this job, a most important part of the job description was removed in order to get a Dennis Chung to be appointed into that position. And so I'm going to run back a little tape here. So, and sorry about the echoing effect. I don't know how to get that out. And so I'm going to play this footage. I want you to understand, so we're going to drag back on the memory. Because we want the people to understand the standpoint of where we're coming from. Because when you question anything of this government, all of a sudden you're bad mind. When you question anything of this government, you are a propaganda. To the point which the very same government is saying that they don't need an opposition to hold them accountable. Their supporters who support everything that they do don't see anything wrong with what they do are their biggest critique. And so listen to this footage here with Dion Jackson Miller.
Running one ad, right? And then 2 months later, changing major...
Sorry about that. Let me go back from this beginning.
Running one ad, right? And then 2 months later, changing major qualifications for the position and running another ad, that does not constitute a robust search. That does sound like that was a serious search and they were seriously looking for people with law enforcement experience or experience in dealing with financial crime. The other legitimate question is how the FIB with Dennis Chung at its head is going to deal with the Integrity Commission report on the statutory declarations of Prime Minister Andrew Holness. This is because when the Integrity Commission report first came out, Mr. Chung wasn't too impressed with the report, or at least some parts of it, right? Nationwide reported in September 2024 that Mr. Chung was questioning some of the claims in the report. He said that the basis of the conclusions was dubious. So this brings up now the question of bias and whether Mr. Chung could be said to be biased if he now has to look at the issue of the Integrity Commission report. There are 2 types of bias that the law talks about, what is called actual bias and apparent bias. Now, actual bias is when it can be proven that the person is biased. That's usually very hard to do, so people usually focus on the other type of bias, which is called apparent bias. The courts have said that the test for apparent bias is whether the fair-minded and informed observer, having considered the facts, would conclude that there was a real possibility that the tribunal was biased. In other words, it's money out of the road, we have sense, look upon the situation and say, look like saying put a bias for true, that's apparent bias. So now, if you heard that Mr. Chung had raised concerns about the Integrity Commission report, then you heard that he's heading an agency that the very same Integrity Commission had asked to look at the very same report, would you say to yourself there's a real possibility here that he could be biased in his approach? And I think any reasonable person would have to say, yes, that is a real possibility. It's not personal, it's nothing against his character, it's just that when you look at the test, you would look at it and say there's a real possibility there that he could be biased.
Big up yourself, Splash DJ. Big up Sonia Barracks. Big up to Evelyn Wood. Big up Noreen McLean. Novlet Williams. Big up yourself, sis Yvonne Riley. And so, having heard what Dion Jackson Miller said a while ago, I'm going to play now the clippings that I have with the Information Minister coming out saying that they're coming all of a sudden to give us transparency somewhat. Big up yourself, Sis Lassam. Let me try that, Splash DJ. I'm going to mute the mic and then play this and see what's going to happen.
To note again, there is nothing to hide in relation to that selection process. There was a process that was engaged with and a candidate was selected. There were 2 rounds that were done. In the first round, a candidate was selected, but that candidate opted not to accept the position. The panel that had been doing the interviews, the panel decided that they had to go back out in order to get a new candidate because the candidate from the original round did not accept the offer. They wanted to also broaden the pool of individuals that could be selected. And as you know, when you do this, and this is done across Jamaica. You always, you want to get the best person you can. And you put out an ad and you do your interviews and you select someone. And then that person says, no, I don't think I'm going to take up this opportunity. Many entities go and do another round. And sometimes they may change the ad, trying to get a broader pool of persons to be interested. And that is actually what happened there. And so the ad was changed to get more people. Now that didn't seem controversial to the team because the criteria in relation to law enforcement experience was not one that was there from the very beginning. And if you look at those who have headed the FID, they have not had law enforcement experience except for one. The last two who were acting did not have it. The longest serving head did not have specific law enforcement experience. And so the panel felt that in order to get a broader cadre of persons applying for this position, which is an important position, that they would remove that requirement, and they got a broader pool of applicants, and they then shortlisted and interviewed.
So what she basically stated was nothing of great significance. She basically regurgitated exactly what was already out there in the media space. ABR family and viewers, please to like the live and share out the live. But some very important parts she did not answer to. Because what I would like to know is if it was Fitzbailey alone that was shortlisted. We're talking about the first round that they spoke of. And so even if a Fitzbailey was chosen and he declined, what about the others from that first round who was shortlisted? She's coming to tell us now then that all those other prospective persons had declined? That now add up to me, and that now make no sense to me. Why they had to go a second round? Why they had to remove the law enforcement criteria? Because, in my opinion, it seems that they specifically wanted as Dennis Chung to be at the FID, noting his public utterance of specific aspects of the 170 odd pages of Integrity Commission as it pertains to Andrew Holness's statutory declaration and his whole, cloud of illicit enrichment, him being under probe for illicit enrichment. And so when she stated also that former FID bosses had no law enforcement background, she's lying. Because this person here, he was I believe in 2019, this Robin Sykes here resigned to take up post at the IMF. And he was succeeded by this very same man right here, so. And this person right here goes by the name of Selvin Hay. And Selvin has a law enforcement background of 30 odd years. So what is she coming out to tell us? A whole lot of nothing. We wanted to know the other candidates who were shortlisted in the first round. And we also wanted to know who gave the directive to remove specifically the law enforcement criteria of 12 years, with 5 of that 12 being at a senior level. Right? The very same Commissioner of Police currently, Kevin Blake, stated that, and he was speaking at, I believe, one of the Federation meeting, and he said that they have some 2,000 law enforcement officers who are trained at a tertiary level. And so you're telling me out of the 2,000, we couldn't find nobody else there, so to fit this post with the law enforcement background of 12 years and 5 being at a senior level? She gotta be kidding me. She really expect to come out and we if buy this where she say that other FID personnels didn't have any law enforcement background. The other 2 acting personnel didn't have it. Who make them never have? Under Funo government, those were acting. So UNO specifically never want those who were acting to have the law enforcement. How can somebody be at the head of an investigation body and not have any form of investigation background or investigative background? That does not make any sense. So what is she coming out to say? We're talking about the access to information. We need to know, we as the public need to know who gave the directive. We know that a FID falls under the portfolio of a Ministry of Finance. And so we learned of last year when there was some same changes of criteria to the National Land Agency where they had to have some RICS background and they place their friend and come below there, and it was the very same Minister of Finance. Back then it was Nigel Clark who it seemed gave that directive to remove the RICS so them can put them friend and come below in the National Land Agency, and we see them come back again, come do the very same thing. Because them have specific persons where them tip off where them want to give the job. Nepotism. I be a friend thing I go and eat a food government. The Gleaner requested information from the Access to Information Act. Under the Constitution, we're supposed to can get answers to questions that we have. We're supposed to can scrutinize a government because we elect them to serve the whole entire people of our country, not just some, but all. And when you have a mainstream media requesting the information, when you have journalists requesting the information, and all or most of those requests were denied. They were requesting all documentation related to the recruitment selection of the Chief Technical Director for the Financial Investigations Division. Official correspondence, directives, or records of communication regarding the decision to remove the requirement for 12 years law enforcement experience, including 5 at a senior level from the January 2025 advertisement. That was denied. And we have this minister coming out and telling us that, like any other department, if somebody decline, then you can change the criteria. So it would want to seem that then, all right, me being a midwife now, so let me use midwifery as a reference here then. So what is she saying then? We have a maternity ward, right? And they would have basically advertised that they're looking for midwives or a registered nurse midwife. And you cannot get any midwife and you cannot get any registered nurse midwife. And so what would you do then? You would remove a criteria and then you would say then you would put a registered nurse at a maternity ward. A registered nurse is not trained to deliver a baby. And so it makes no sense what she's coming out to say. We want to know who gave the directives. Who say to remove that aspect? And out of 2,000 qualified law enforcement officers, we couldn't find nobody out of that 2,000 to give that post. But we could have find a Dennis Chung. Big up yourself, Rumba Time News, Lorna Brooks, Christopher, Lawman, Megawatt, Floyd Shaw, big up on yourself. Thanks for coming on. I would love to hear from you all. And I soon open the phone lines because this is not sitting well with me any at all. And might I play back the public utterance of a Dennis Chung as it relates to the report from the Integrity Commission. And this is what is troubling me now. I'm going to have to keep pulling this up to mute my mic.
Yeah, I don't think it's irregular to have 28 bank accounts. In fact, I can tell you, my experience is that if you go into several private sector businesses, you'll find that they have a multitude of bank accounts. Some of them inactive, some of them they're using, but people own bank accounts for specific purposes. So it's not unusual for people to do multiple activities. If you're doing multiple activities, then obviously, one of the ways I find that people, especially non-accountants, try to reconcile their business is by having payments through different cash bank accounts. Accountants, for example, might have one account and then you reconcile and adjust between. But many people, it's not unusual for them to do that. So, I heard this story about, or this comment about the number of bank accounts that are out there. And the truth is that I think it's really detracting from what the real substance of the argument should be, which is, what is it that is going through the bank accounts and how much money is in there. Because if I have 28 bank accounts, for example, and I could have $2 million between them. Someone could have two bank accounts and have $500 million between two bank accounts, and that is a greater problem than my 28. So I don't think that the number of bank accounts is something that we really should focus on, because it really has no substance behind it. In fact, there are sometimes also when you go and do specific transactions with certain institutions, and they themselves will mandate that you open separate accounts. So therefore, sometimes it's not because of your own choosing why you want a new account, but they will say, listen, in order for you to do this product, right, or for you to do this investment or use this checking, this different company, I want another account, or I want two accounts attached to it. So, I hear the argument, but I think that the argument is really a detraction, for example, I think, from what the substantial situation should be, which is really the transaction itself. And, I'm trying to understand what is the investigation around the number of bank accounts. What are you going to achieve with that?
So when you hear him just phone himself, he don't see the issue with 28 bank accounts, what one will achieve from that. So having seen the report himself, and must have read through the report himself, the 470 odd million that was circulating between, the accounts does not raise any alarm there, sir, in your eyes? As a top man, we say you're a financial analyst. We say you have a whole heap of years of experience in finances. You don't see nothing wrong with 28 bank accounts with how much teen, hundreds of millions floating through. You don't see any problem with, in a given day, 45 different ATM transactions of cash deposited into an ATM machine of how much teen, millions. My God, this a man I have nothing about him. This a man I need to go. He already gave us a verdict there, sir. And so we don't expect him to do anything too great at the Financial Investigation Division when him come out and make public utterances as such. And so here I have a little message here from the former director at the TVJ, Kay Osborne, and she says, to every Jamaican citizen who is not about politics, It is about the survival of our democracy. The Prime Minister has squared off with every law-abiding citizen, which is not normal political behavior. It is the behavior of someone who likely views public office as a personal enrichment opportunity and treats oversight as an existential threat. The consequences on the average Jamaican citizen, including die-hard Labourites and insider beneficiaries, are dire. From a weakened economy to a loss of faith in our institutions, our clear choice is to decisively reject the current government at the polls and send the crucial message that we will not tolerate institutional destruction, which leads to authoritarianism. Democracy itself is not self-sustaining. It requires active defense by its citizens. The time for that defense is now. We cannot allow this government, under the leadership of Andrew Holness, to get a third term in our country when we see that they are trying to destruct and to weaken our democracy. They're trying to tear down and weaken every entity, every institution that is set there to hold them accountable. When a man make a speech as to say they don't need an opposition to hold them accountable, what does that spell? I'm one well-thinking Jamaican. Big up yourself, Daniel Taylor. Big up, Herman. I want all the well-thinking Jamaicans, and this is not about die-heartedness. I want you to rationalize the thing. I want you to think. We are thinkers over here, and we have to think rationally. We are not battling for the minds as a Prime Minister Andrew Holness says that he's battling for the minds. We are battling for the truth, and we want the people to see the truth at all costs. So it matters not what they're going to come with. Them assault, they're going to paint our pictures all over. Them sending out them minions who believe everything that they say, who does not do any research for themselves. And they're going to come and they're trying to assassinate our character. And they're going to try every way, shape and form. None of them knows us as bloggers, the well-thinking bloggers, the social media warrior bloggers. None of them know us personally. And so when you see them go around and them putting up their pictures and they're trying to do this and that, we are not perturbed by those stuff. We are not worried by those stuff. We want the people them to understand that this government, we must not make any error at the polls. When we look at Everald Warmington and the disgraceful, the distasteful behavior, and we still have some Jamaica Labour Party supporters, minion, saying that him spewing indecent language in front of the press, in front of the entire Jamaican. Our children go on YouTube, our children are watching, and they are the ones who say that their leaders voted in by the electorates. Electorates gonna have to be wiser, gonna have to have more sense than that. We're seeing this very same man boasting that he has done 7 terms as an MP. What can go so? Look at the man behavior. The man has no behavior. The man has no respect for nobody. Who no Jezebel from who no forget middle finger from how him disrespect the police force from you name it. The man seemed very racist at that. And these are the people who want to proud to say that they are leaders over us, who don't respect us, who no for lack on the eye and put on the X beside whatever. And that who no bargain for, and that who no cheer for, and that who no rail up for. My God. It's a dark day when you hear the Prime Minister himself say it's a dark day back when he was in opposition. And when we've seen all of these things taking place. 24 dead babies in a given month. Less than a month. And we see in the whole deflection. And when it's not, the mothers are the problem because they're not getting any antenatal screening. They're not getting any antenatal care. This government takes no form of accountability. Look what they're doing in the height of the campaign season. On the eve of a general election, they're going around trying to create turmoil and trying to trigger war and strife because that's how they are. They are bullies. They love war. They're hooligans. They're making it seem as if they own Jamaica and Jamaica belongs to them and we are outsiders. Once we are born on the Jamaican soil, all of us belong and all of us are Jamaicans and Jamaica belongs to all of us. Not just some. Big up yourself, Lawrence Mullings. Big up yourself, Junior Neville, Sonia Foster. A full time now we open our eyes and vote for what makes sense. Not just a $5,000, not just a box food. What can $5,000 do in a current state right now where the cost of living is so high down there and they're not doing nothing to cushion the cost on the people? We have to reject them. We have a leader going forward for a third term who is not certified. We have the anti-corruption body that they're fighting, they're taking to court. All of a sudden, the institution that they big up at one point, they are trying to tear down at all costs. And all of a sudden, everybody wants judicial review. The numbers of illicit enrichers have increased. And we cannot know the name except for the leader who says that he's the prime minister. He's under probe for illicit enrichment. They are playing chess, as they say, with our lives, with our future, with our children's future. And we don't see nothing wrong with that. We, the well-thinking Jamaicans, must not come out and voice our concern as it pertains to that. We must swallow in everything that this government puts out, and then we cannot get any information. Everything is gagged and everything is under secrecy. A lot of non-disclosure agreements. And we, the Jamaican people who they are working for us, spending our taxpaying dollars, we must sit down and we must curl and we must fold because the Donman government, the badman government, and their supporters run this, and we must just stay silent. It will not happen. We must reject them at the polls. We must put a stop to what they are doing in our country. Bullyism and brute force, even in our parliament, they use the majority and they pass anything. They pass any law. They have not looked out for our farmers. They have not looked out for the country per se. It's just a handful of people that receive the prosperity that they sang on. And yet still they want to come and tell us now that the third term will be for us and we must choose Jamaica. We have already chosen Jamaica. God already ordained us to be born on the Jamaican soil. So we are forever, wherever in the world we are. Our neighbor string is tied to Jamaica. And so, therefore, we don't need Andrew Holness to come and tell us to choose Jamaica. We choose change. We choose change from a highly corrupted government. We choose change from a government of secrecy. We choose change from a government who does not want to disclose to us who are under investigation for illicit enrichment. We choose change from a government who is a pathological, mendacious liar. He said that he asked far and wide, and he did not get any answers as to who was under investigation for illicit probe. But we must embrace him and give them a third term. And the third term will be for us. Then who was the first 2 terms for? I thought he was working for the Jamaican people. We can't make this up. They are doing the things them and we need to get the call from over our eyes. We can't make them trick we. This government is lawless. If they were about accountability and if they were about transparency and if they were about integrity, they would have put an impeachment legislation in place. He promised that to us on the first 100 days when he took office as Prime Minister, and to this date, he has not fulfilled that. So we must reject them at the polls. We must not give them any third term. We must not have any MPs who are cussing and telling us expletives. Who does not respect us? Respect goes where respect comes from. And if someone does not respect me, I'm not going to show you that level of respect either. The time come for us not to be fooled any longer. The man, while in office, has gotten how much 10 times richer. While half of our country cannot find a decent, balanced meal. While them friends and them cumbelos can throw money all over the place. And them can pick, choose and refuse what they want to eat. But we have them holding on to the increments of our public sector workers. Public sector workers, I am pleading to you. As a former public sector worker that have worked in the system for 6.5 years, this has been the worst it has ever been. And I am imploring all of these law enforcement officers, the JCF, the JDF, the teachers, other staff that covers under the public sector workers when they cannot make no mistake. Please, I am pleading to you. The plans and policies of a People's National Party is out there. Please, to keep up with the campaign and the meetings and to keep up with the plans and policies of a People's National Party under the leadership of a Mark Jefferson Golding. We've seen a Mark Jefferson Golding working, and he means business. We've seen him move a Dennis Meadow. And because Andrew only saw that, he went ahead. This is not the first rodeo with a Everall Warmington. And he went ahead and stating that he fired him from cabinet. Make we see how much balls him have now and how much of a leader he is. Because we don't know political ombudsman. That is out the door. Because them putting it in the ECJ makes no sense. Because you're going to constantly get a pushback. That don't make no sense in the ECJ. And so right now, in my opinion, we don't have no political ombudsman. And so I want to see how much of a leader he is if he's not going to remove Everall Warmington from running in this general election to come. But then again, him nago can't do it. Because what? Him himself is tainted. Tainted to the D. And so him not have it in him. Him not have it in him. So sorry for wanting that as a well-thinking Jamaican. Him not have it in him. So therefore him nago can't do it. Time come, Jamaica. We cannot make no mistake. Him coming out with this lousy apology. We don't want it. Big up yourself, Semanish. We don't want the apology from him because he might go back and do the very same thing again. Who want to chink grass, flea and fly? I saw them go around and them disrespect the people them. Grass, flea and fly when you challenge them. Your bad mind when you challenge them. Your propaganda is when you challenge them. It's a dark day. They took 200 and odd and 300% increase to retain the best and the brightest, and them so-called best and brightest run gone about them business, seeking greener pastures elsewhere. But the teachers and other staff must stay because they're lying saying that teachers own more houses and cars under this administration. When, where, and how? When, where, and how, when they don't build the amount of houses as a People's National Party? So which part? I want to see which part in Jamaica the teachers them own more houses and cars. We can't make this up. These stuff are factual. Factual. Look at this. Guyana is the only country that produces enough food to feed itself without import. Them not care for farmers them. Or importation bill has increased by 75% under this government. A bare imported foods. No investment. Them get free fertilizer for give away. And from the reports of the Auditor General, fertilizers were being sold at a private facility. We can't make this up. This government is highly corrupted based on the many reports that are coming out. Highly corrupted, Althea. In a groundbreaking study published by the Nature Food, scientists analyzed 186 countries to determine which ones could fully meet their population's dietary needs using only locally produced food. They looked at 7 key food groups: fruits, vegetables, dairy, meat, fish, plant-based proteins, and starchy staples. The results: only one country passed every single category, and that's Guyana. And one would ask, what's the population for Guyana? Even though, as of mid-2025, Guyana has around 835,900 and odd residents residing there. Jamaica, with over 2 million, could have done the same as a Guyana. I truly believe so. They're going as far as to import ice. I remember, Simonish, ice. And then coming to tell us all kind of nonsense as to why they imported the ice. But might I remind you of the plans of the People's National Party as it pertains to agriculture. They plan to establish an agricultural development fund that provides a dedicated source of financial support for local food production. They promise to cut food importation bill by 25% in 5 years. They will have an agriculture-free zone for export-led production, management system for RADA, and school feeding expansion. And I will let you hear also a clip in here from Dayton Campbell.
We have looked at the studies that shows that half of the people in Jamaica, 55%, are suffering from moderate to severe food insecurity. They are not eating properly. Half of the people in the country not eating properly. So what we are going to do is that under the next PNP government, we are going to ensure that there is one warm, nutritious meal to every needy child in school all over Jamaica, primary and secondary school. And the produce to prepare that meal, we will identify the schools, ask them to do their menu so we know what they need each time. They will come to the member of parliament. They will say to him, for October we are going to need X amount of Irish, X amount of yam, X amount of pumpkin, and he will in turn go to the farmers in the constituency and let them produce the items and get a guaranteed market where they sell it to the school for us to prepare those meals. It's not no Nutribullet and them thing that we are going to feed them on. A warm, nutritious meal. We in the next PNP government are going to put a dedicated fund in place for agriculture. The Agriculture Development Fund that will finally make agriculture a priority in this country. What is it that we're going to do with this fund? We are going to ensure that, one, you can get access to funding. So we're going to send some to the PC bank so you can go there and get access to funding to develop your farm and modernize what you're doing. We're going to ensure that you can get help with land preparation by putting some of the heavy duty equipment in the high production, heavy production areas. So you don't have to use fork and them thing all the time, but you can get tractors and plow to come in and prepare the land for you to go out there and plant. We're going to help you with irrigation, help you with input, seeds and fertilizer, help you with storage so that when your crop come in and it gluttonous on the market, there's gluttony. There's a glut on the market. You can have somewhere to store the excess until the price goes up. Then you can sell it and get value for your hard work. So comrades and friends, these are just some of the proposals that we have for you as an next PNP government.
And those are just a few proposals from a People's National Party standpoint. And as I stated before, I have the compressed plans and policies of the People's National Party. Anybody wants it can feel free to WhatsApp me and I provide CM. It is pretty straightforward here. Every single aspect as it pertains to their plans laid out right here.
Opposition leader Mark Golding is insisting that so far no opposition lawmaker has indicated they're being investigated for illicit enrichment. Mr. Golding made the comment at a South St. Andrew Joint Divisional Conference.
I have canvassed individually every PNP member of parliament and every PNP senator and asked them directly in writing whether they are under investigation to their knowledge by the Integrity Commission. And I can report to you tonight that each and every one has confirmed to me that they are not aware of being under investigation by the Integrity Commission for any wrongdoing. And I say to Andrew Holness tonight, what do you say about it? What are you going to tell us about the members of parliament, the parliamentarians who are under investigation for illicit enrichment?
Opposition leader Mark Golding is insisting that so far no opposition lawmaker has indicated they're being investigated for illicit enrichment. Mr. Golding made the comment at a South St. Andrew Joint Divisional Conference.
I have canvassed individually every PNP member of parliament and every PNP senator and asked them directly in writing whether they are under investigation to their knowledge by the Integrity Commission. And I can report to you tonight that each and every one has confirmed to me that they are not aware of being under investigation by the Integrity Commission for any wrongdoing. And I say to Andrew Holness tonight, what do you say about it? What are you going to tell us about the members of parliament, the parliamentarians who are under investigation for illicit enrichment.
What will you say about that, Andrew Holness? Mark Golding is challenging you there to come and let the people of Jamaica know what says you as it pertains to the findings of the Integrity Commission that an additional 2 parliamentarians under investigation for illicit enrichment. Anybody believe that he will take up this challenge? Anybody believe that he will take up this challenge? I doubt it. Him not have it in him. None at all. But I'm going to move on a bit here, and we see now making its round on the social media space that the government will not renew JPS contract under existing terms. And they make it seem as if this is some form of breaking news. I don't see the big deal about this. The people them need relief as it pertains to the high energy costs, yes. And so they should have started their negotiation with the JPS before this license, this 20-year license would have expired. And so he's coming out to saying that they will not renew JPS contract under existing terms. It make it seem as if them now go done away with JPS all to complete. But then again, he made mention also of other prospective, interests as it pertains to electricity in the country. And we would like to know who those companies are. You understand? I hope it's not China again. And so I am about to play a footage from the opposition spokesperson on energy, Philip Palwell, and some of his suggestions to this government that went beyond their fears. And I don't know, this is nothing new that Vaz is really coming out with. What he needs to do is go to the table and start the negotiation and to find ways and means to help cut the energy costs on our people who are paying this massive amount of electricity bill. The other day I came across a news where a blind man basically, him light bill come up to 80,000 for one particular month. 80,000. And they said that they have given the people 53% discount. What can go so?
Madam Speaker, a major factor driving both the high cost of living and the lack of growth is energy. The high cost of electricity has been a staple in Jamaica for the past 9 years.
Unfortunately.
Our consumers pay high bills at home and then pay higher prices for basic goods and services, again affected by the high price of electricity. Meanwhile, our economy limps along uncompetitive and weighed down by these costs. Madam Speaker, every year when I address this Parliament, I not only speak about the problems facing the energy sector, but I also provide proposals towards solutions. Yet my suggestions are largely ignored by the government. To start to effect some changes from then. I said so in 2023. I repeated last year. I even spelled out some of the specific things that they could do. For example, we have been fighting to get the operators in the special economic zone to be able to generate and provide their own electricity. I think this could have been achieved before if you are smart about it and if you negotiate well. So we are without that today. And of course, true to form, the advice and guidance was ignored. During the Standing Finance Committee earlier this year in February, I reminded everyone that on the 7th of July this year, the government must inform JPSCO of its intentions about the negotiations for a new license. Because if it doesn't, the license that currently exists will be renewed automatically. Automatically. The government responded by saying that the World Bank was going to be providing assistance. And I'm disappointed because after 9 years, the only thing this government has mastered is to outsource its homework. This is work that should have started in 2023 when I gave notice. Stakeholders have told me, Minister, and you have confirmed that the World Bank team was recently here conducting interviews. Minister, I would have expected if a team from the World Bank is coming to offer guidance, then the first stop, or one of the first stops, should be to the opposition. This is a matter that transcends politics. The minister told me last week that when the team comes back, I'll be given an opportunity. I'll be given an opportunity. So, Madam Speaker, I say to the government, we are now in May, and the government is only in the preliminary stages of consultation. I repeat, this consultation should have started 2 years ago and completed by now. I'm also very concerned, Madam Speaker, that the Energy Council, which was established in 2012 to address issues just like this, has not been convened to provide guidance. Minister, could you say, when you speak, what is the status of the Energy Council? Is this government committed to meaningful consultation with stakeholders in the sector? So let me be clear, Madam Speaker. The negotiations for a new JPSCO license is fundamental to our future, and especially crucial to the twin issues of cost of living and lack of growth. The situation is nothing like it was in 2001, and the minister keeps on saying that I was the one who signed the 2001 license. I was a part of the administration, so I can't deny responsibility, but I was not the minister, just to be clear. Right. So now, Madam Speaker, just as the previous administration, which we were a part of, was bold and visionary in negotiating better terms with cable and wireless in 2000, we too must be bold now in terms of JPSCO. If the World Bank had reached out to me, and when they do, I would have suggested the following areas for reform. Firstly, Madam Speaker, I think the time has passed when we should be granting 20-year license. Yeah. I think because of technology, we need now to look at what changes can happen in a life cycle of a license. And I don't believe that we should be contemplating licenses beyond 10 years. In fact, I would be satisfied with a 5-year license. Makes sense. Madam Speaker, I would also like to suggest to the Minister, in contemplating what to do in July of this year, that this right of first refusal that the JPSCO now has, which gives them the right to put on new generation without contemplating other sources, other suppliers, that that right be abolished and that all future generation be done by international competitive tendering. And thirdly, Madam Speaker, I think now is the time, having lost the opportunity before, to allow the special economic zone operators to be able to provide their own electricity and to supply within the zone. I believe after this, you're going to see exponential growth in the area of economic zone. I also want, Minister, and even though you brought regulations here recently, I believe that JPSCO has to be forced to come to the table to implement the wheeling arrangements that are now in regulations, but they have not been forced to implement. And also, Madam Speaker, we believe that the time has come for a revolution in solar rooftop provisioning, and that can be a tremendous source of power to our people. And I'll come back to that later on. And also, as you contemplate the new license, there is need, Madam Speaker, for greater consumer rights measures to be in place. For example, the removal of exemption of liability, which I believe are provisions that are unconscionable.
I wish to advise the country that this morning, in my capacity as Energy Minister, I wrote the Jamaica Public Service Company and gave formal notice of the government's intention upon expiration of the current all-island license not to renew under existing terms. My letter to the JPS was written pursuant to condition 27 of the license, which provides the government of Jamaica to acquire the licensed business at the expiration of the terms of the license. That expiration date is July 8th, 2027. Let me make it clear, it is not the intention of the government of Jamaica to take charge of the operations of the JPS. Prior to the expiry of the current license in 2027, we intend to renegotiate new licensing terms and conditions with potential investors which are favorable for the people of Jamaica. My statement to the media at this time is intended to provide clarity and transparency around the government's objectives, the process that is underway, and to reiterate our commitment to securing better outcomes for the Jamaican people. Our country will recall in 2001, the former People's National Party administration and government entered into an all-island licensing arrangement with the JPS. Subsequently, the same administration further entered into a binding agreement to amend provisions of the 20-year-old license. I think we can all agree that the people of Jamaica have not been served well by the existing electricity supply arrangements. The terms and conditions under the current license has yielded electricity prices which are amongst the highest in the region. The arrangements in relation to the license is deeply flawed and in need of significant reform. The current juncture represents the first opportunity presented to the current administration of Prime Minister Honis to secure terms which better serve the people of Jamaica. We take this duty seriously. The development where the government of Jamaica has essentially formally notified the JPS of its intention to, at the expiration of the current license, not pursue renewal under existing terms, has come in the context of developments in the wider electricity sector, where there has been a significant global reduction in the cost of renewables. The government of Jamaica is determined that consumers of electricity in Jamaica should be placed in the best position to benefit from these developments. The current licensing arrangements with the JPS does not provide sufficient incentives to bring renewables into the grid at the scale, and it provides for generation via imported fossil fuels, which is not cost effective. It is over time to reform. As we negotiate a new license, the government is determined to extend every effort to put the people of Jamaica in a position to take full advantage of the possibilities to reduce the country's energy bill and to reduce the cost of electricity to Jamaicans. Improving Jamaica's energy security and achieving decarbonization goals are among our key objectives.
So my question, what has he done as the Minister of Energy to assist the people of our country as it pertains to energy and the high electricity cost? It's not that they're not going to renew the license with JPS, but they say that they're not going to renew it under the existing contract. So they're going to change up a little stuff, but we want to know what and what they're going to change up, because we know that this negotiation should have started from 2 years ago. And so we also know that JPS has the majority of shares and the government has only 19%. So what will they do? They gave 53% discount, they said, but at the end of the day, persons are still crying out for high electricity cost. We also would like to know who are the other prospective entities that they want to bring on board. Because me always, I say from long time, say JPs need some competition. Because sometimes when, we have some entities and them alone affair provide whatever goods or services to the people, them take advantage of the people. And so, me did I say from long time, say them need some form of competition. So let us see or let us hear who they will bring on board. We know that this government is a government of secrecy. And until them sign off contract and everything, sometimes we don't even know who are the prospective bidders. We see the whole drill saga still make it rounds on social media. And with the public procurement service basically renewing the registration for the Meditech, who is in this whole drill scandal saga, have basically gotten re-registered for another 3 years to do, contract and buying of equipment to sell back to the government. And it's after Azara Burton came out and, questioning, saying there are controversy surrounding this company. And so why, if the act say one thing, if controversy surround them, then that would be a cause of concern in not to re-register them. But after Zara Burton spoke out, then we see in the public procurement, service saying that they are running an investigation. We can't make this up. Not at all. But we are here to hear what they will bring to the table as it pertains to electricity and what are their plans going forward in this negotiation process. But nevertheless, I'm about to open the phone lines. And before I do that, I want to play a clipping right here. So with Mark Golding, basically, he was speaking at the Racehorse Federation. And the vibes nice and the vibes right. Him even bust a tune. So I want to hear this.
There is not a man can move me from my life. So, all you Jamaicans gone abroad. When last you really check how you had. Remember Saltfish figure full of ampere. Bonus split with a high school beer at school. It's no bad at all. Charging on ya, and Marty on ya, and I leave ya. Big up Afghanistan, no way, sir. I know the dirty well told ya, and the same belly full, sir. But I still sweet Jamaica. Listen.
Big up Marky G Panda one, that one that's sweet, eh? Ear music. Big up yourself, Kev. ABR family, the phone lines are open. I want to hear from you all. Make me hear one say Panda one, yeah. Based on everything that was outlined in this live video, make me hear one say. The number to call is 954-288-6467. WhatsApp only. Make me hear one say. Well thinking Jamaicans, ABR family. Big up yourself, Opal's Kitchen, Brian Reed, Judy Roberts, DJ Architect. Big up yourself. Not Another Word channel. Big up. Big up to Barbara Finley. Cooking with Elaine. Big up to all moderators. Thanks for the continued support. Simone Beckford, big up yourself. Bless up yourself, my brother. You're live. One Splash Digi Attile.
Attile, man. First, before I go, I wonder how much tax money, taxpayers' money pay for Dana New Year style.
Dana New... You know, easy, you know. None of your pocket or yourself to pay out.
That's like most cost the country something, man, because they not spend out of them pockets.
Them not spend out of... Mighty God.
And when I think the JLP have no talent to the ages like that, so it must be the taxpayers' money. But, you know, but also want to big up Marky G again on that. That cover there with the original singer.
Yes.
For Iron Man Bang there.
True.
For sure, you say Andrew should have really shame himself because the owner for the lyrics that approve of him, you know, him more approve of Mark Golding.
Exactly.
You know. And as far as Dennis Chung now, him realize him in a corner. And as much as all them are trying to make it look legally, him get the job, it shows it's shaky behind for him integrity. And the appointment is really illegal constitutionally. So yeah, we not support them and we not keep them in there. So what I mean done. Him can keep him apology.
Same so.
Yeah, because over the years we never get none. Over 10 years now we never get one. So
and even before that.
Now. Right, so I don't know why now he might come to apologize. So if him see it lose him down a him constituency a whole lot, man. So we are going to give him time to go link up with the British family. Soon to come.
Yes.
So yeah, man, so we just big them up on that, and as we are saying, we want to big up the Integrity Commission again.
Same so, yes.
Yeah, man, I want to big up Serpent and to keep them in the loops because as much as them are trying to jump out of the fire, them are going to get burned somewhere.
Yes.
So big up yourself, I go back in my glass and go on.
All right, then, big up my moderator, big up yourself. Thanks for calling, thanks for your input, respect. Please, ABR family, to go and support the other social media warriors. The Splash Digi, the Lonesome Them, the Mystic, the Pastor Ricky, the Hot Off the Press, the Talk Your Mind TV, the Rumba Time News, the Bolo VNR, the Hot Topics, the Partner Jar TV, the Miss Jen. Blessed day, my caller, you're live.
Blessed day, sis. And the matter of one and the stage and apology, we will not accept it.
Not at all.
And the thing about it, it has been accumulation of mistake. It come a time when sorry means nothing.
Sorry doesn't make it right in this sense.
It doesn't make it right. You cannot just blatantly doing stuff and then come around and say sorry.
Yeah.
The man hallmark of bad behavior is too long. Man.
Countless, yeah.
And you see the thing about it, his apology by itself will not stand. I want to hear top people within the party and records stating that they condemn the behavior. I want to hear this is where leadership plays a role now. I'm expecting Andrew Holness to publicly distance himself from such comment.
Him not have it in him.
And you see, the difference is this, you know, let us remind people about example of good leadership. Dennis Meadows make a fool of himself on a campaign stage. And the difference is that Marky G make him know that, man, you're a good worker, but what you say, we have no place for such utterances.
All right then.
So
and the man walk the walk and talk the talk.
Walk the walk and talk the talk. And Dennis Meadows, get him time out, and him can re-emerge because he would have paid the time. If him come back now, I wouldn't see anything wrong with it because I'm gonna get him due punishment. But you would have seen, and people need to remember this also, Warmington holds a key position because he is a part of the oversight committee of Parliament. He should not be there. And I'm not calling for an apology only. He needs to come off that board.
Even the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee, for come off.
He should. Integrity matters. He should come off. And I'm also calling on Delroy Chuck, who is in charge of justice of the peace, to take that away from that man.
Him not have it in him neither.
Peace. The bar for justice of the peace has gone to the ground.
My God.
Delroy Chuck need to step in. Andrew need to step in. This man need to come off of the oversight committee of Parliament.
I agree.
Apology alone. That's the step. Not tell me about no apology. And just to draw a little bit of funny night now. You realize how much time Warmington mentioned his favorite body part on the stage?
I didn't hear that part.
You remember? All right. On the stage when he was talking and used the expletives.
Yeah.
You remember? You count how many times he used his favorite body part in that speech? You hear how much time he used asshole?
Mighty God.
That's his favorite body part. No wonder why he keep repeating it so much up there.
My God.
And the thing about energy now, people need to remember that when PNP leave office, the fuel cost was 23 US cents.
Yes,
right?
I forgot to add that. Yes.
Yeah. And let us not forget where it is at now. I think it's about
50 now.
I think it's somewhere about close to 50 or 50 cents.
Yeah.
So it has more than double.
And of them raise it, yeah.
Yeah, so if the energy cost has doubled, it means productivity and growth is difficult to achieve because everything is driven by energy costs.
True.
And our import bill is even greater, and that is why the price of things is just exorbitant.
True.
And you know how long these people take to start to negotiate a deal that should started in 2033.
They don't care about the people.
You know what? Now, if the election no call and we take it over, this is what I can see happening, and this is going to be their excuse. Well, we started out very late, and because of that, only minimal change we could be able to make because of how late we come to the negotiation table. That is going to be there. I don't expect much changes under this
So
government.
chances are going to renew the same contract going to renew.
Just some little minimal thing I will come out.
True.
And for them excuse I will be
them start late.
They couldn't get to do the deal that they want because the negotiation process started very late. This should have started from 2023, 2 years ago. And I know you just have to start.
Them slow.
Yeah, they're incompetent, man.
Incompetent.
Bars, out time zone. Them man, they can't be in their ministry, man.
Not at all.
No, them man out time dead, man. Them incompetent bad, man.
True.
Incompetent. Alright, you have a good one, my missus.
Alright, thanks, my brother. Respect. Thanks for your input every time. Big up. They're setting us up. We hear from that caller. Setting us up. Setting up the People's National Party to fail. My God. Blessed day, Miss Winnie. How you doing? You live?
Hello, darling. Good day to everyone. Listen to me. Honest did not have no one else to put in that position. You understand? So it's hopelessly going to say, he boiled down to this one. There was no other. They're too light. And he mapped changer here to map.
My God.
Oh, Lord. Anyway, girl, all I can say to you, I'm just dying I'm just fed up of hearing their mouth now. It's getting on my nerves now. I just want the election call. Only want some bad weather. He wants he wants everything to come that he don't have to call no election. And simple as that, it is a coward. Listen to me. That man is so afraid of Mark Golding. It's just like a child did do something wrong and know you're going to get a little slap. You understand? He's afraid. And tell me, could you know that clip you play with Mark singing with the gentleman? Who is that gentleman?
The Chinese man?
Yeah.
He's one of them at the Racehorse Federation.
He's the one who write the song?
Yes, and he's the one who, yeah.
So could you if you could would I able to see that clip? I don't want the whole thing, of Mark singing.
Yes, man, I can send it to you.
Thank you, my darling. And listen, you're doing a wonderful job. Do not let the dogs them put you in any position. Warmilton is not going to resign. Olness cannot do it, because if Olness could have done it, he should have let the wife as well. Remember when the wife said, anywhere there is dump?
Yeah,
the PNP live?
Yes.
So he don't have no balls. He's ballless. He better go back to the go-go club. He better go back to the go-go club.
Boy.
I hear you, yeah?
My God, bless up, Miss Winnie. Thanks
Please
for calling.
send that to me, please.
All right, I will. Miss Winnie send balls at the go-go club. Mighty God, I don't know about that. Murder. Big up yourself. Wayne Evans, big up you, be. Comrade. Anybody else wants to chime in? I want to know we have to play out the biggest, baddest music right now, One PNP and we have to play back the Mark Gold in here again.
Nothing so hard, come in the dark. I'm on
Jamaican Mark Gold. Oh, them want to see birthday bright. Hey.
Sweet Jamaica. But when you stop and take out the fast, is a holy thing Jamaica laugh, but not patrol. When you run from a problem, it never solves. No man wants to get involved at all. We sit down on ball, come here, get a bullet.
One Jamaica.
second belly full, yeah. See Jamaica. Yes, no. I fly today to Miami. Though me not came to the sun. As long as man give labor and his work is burning. Not a man can move me from my life. So, are you Jamaicans gone abroad? When last you played Shake remember Sarkish Figure full of ampere. Born a split with a ice cold beer as true. It's no bother's fault.
Blessings, Mrs. You're live on the ABR show?
Yes, evening to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
No, my little input, you see?
Yeah.
You see, Mr. Warmington, I am from the Old Harbour area.
Okay.
And Mr. Warmington have nothing about him. And I just want to say, you see, I can't understand why Old Harbour people is still voting in Mr. Warmington.
My God. Same question may I ask?
And I'm also asking the Christian, why are the Christian people who say they are true child of God? You know this man, when you're serving God, you know, God is all about principle, good moral, good standard, good, yeah, and so forth. And you, I can't believe, say, you as a Christian are going to really take up yourself and say you're going to vote for a man like this. Him have no respect for people, him have no manners, and him have nothing about him. So, I'm saying this to the Christian people, and we're out there. We are follow back a Warmington in a Old Harbour, and also the Christian people, them looking on ourselves, and run back a Andrew Holness, right? And we know the things them that Andrew Holness are doing is wrong, and all the Christian them will run back a Labour Party. You not really born again. Because you see, if you not really born again, I'm talking to the Christian, them, the child of God. Them. You see, if you really child of God, you know that never run behind these people. Because they mix up in a iniquity, they mix up in a witchcraft, and them have no moral standard. And you tell me, you as people, as a Christian, are run back at these people, and then you go a polling station and go mark X for these type of people with full of corruption, and Christian people know because hear all over social media. Oh, this man and him cronies, him 49 thief, them thief of taxpayer money, run the country in a bankruptcy. And I'm saying to the Labourite people, them, the hospital is into a deplorable condition, and I am saying to them, you know, I don't know conscience, Labourites, you know. When you no go to hospital, if you no should have sick and go to hospital, when you no go tell the doctor say, me a Labourite, or people. It will affect it. This thing is affecting everybody. People of Jamaica, let us come together and get rid of this government. We need to vote them out.
Yes, man.
Them don't mean Jamaica no good. So I'm saying to all the Christian people and the churches, why are you so silent about this? Why the churches are so silent? Where the bishop and the apostle, we saw now apostle and a prophet.
We have a few of them out there, man, attack up.
we need to see them come up on social media, man. Show up on yourself, man.
Them there, man, trust me. But the majority not out there for sure. But we have a few out there.
Yeah. We need more to come on board, man, and talk the things in because it affect everybody. This man policy affect everybody in Jamaica. We need to see more Christian, more of the pastor and the bishop, them and only in the church on go prophesy and God tell you no things for only in the church. Come out, man. Christian pastors and prophet and prophetess and warriors, come out, man, and speak up the things, them, man. Make this government know, say, what it is wrong, and we're tired of the corruption of this country. This is an input.
True.
Yes, man. And Mr. Warmington, you need to take with yourself. We're tired of you in a Southwest St. Catherine now. Take with yourself. We're tired of you.
The people them tired of him.
Yes, man. We want all our people, all our be, and all the surrounding in a area. Come on, man. Give Dr. Kirkwall a chance. Dr. Kirkwall is a good man, principal man. And me tell you, say, as a doctor, when you go a film office, you know, whether you're PMP or Labourite, he look after your same way.
Then I saw it for go. Once them elected, I saw it for go.
Yeah, Dr. Kirkwall is a good man. I mean, ask the people in our Southwest St. Catherine, vote for Dr. Kirkwall. When you go at the polling station, put on your X right beside the 8 for Dr. Kirkwall. Big up yourself.
All right, then bless up yourself, my sister. Thanks for calling. So now hear from with sis right there. So the people them tired of Warmington over all over there. Big up to everybody on the chat. Earl. Big up yourself, Yvette Thompson. Big up yourself, Sonia Barracks. So we see you, Akeem, coming, asking what the PNP has done for 18 years. Brother, the evidences are out there. Me no need for in and a bag of laba with you. The evidences are out there. The videos are on my channel. Scroll through. Me have over 1,700 odd videos on the channel, plus live videos. The same phone we are use and the PNP make it possible. Bless up yourself, Macaulay, live on the ABR show.
Blessed afternoon to you, ABR and the listeners.
Yeah.
Well, first thing to comment, I don't hear the police has come out and say anything about Warmington as yet. I mean, I can bet if it was on a Jamaica dancer, DJ have done that. They hear them lock him up a long time and someone superior for him.
Charge him.
I don't hear the police them come out and say nothing more about Warmington behavior. I mean, like, can you imagine if you're a child sitting down listening to a member of parliament and him behave in that manner? Now, what example is that man setting for our children? So there's no amount of apology that man can make, because we don't know that apology is not sincere.
Not at all. And forced.
And first of all, anything you do as a member of parliament, any consequences, you're supposed to pay the penalty. Ignorant is no excuse. You understand me? I said to you, you can't want to do these things over and over again. And it's not like 1 time or 2 time or 3 time or 4 time. This man has shown our reporter his middle finger and all these things.
And who grass fleet, chink and fly, and who Jezebel from one of Jezebel, yeah.
Yes, man. So, I mean, and yet still, you hasn't hear the leader come out and say anything about his behavior. And I can bet it was a member of the opposition who said something like that. The Prime Minister come out and asked that the leader asked him to resign in the liquor. But you know.
He better come out the same. Alright, if he talk this minute, by the next minute he better come out.
Yeah, man, but you know, him can't talk to people member them, because you know, he don't have the morals to talk to them, you know.
None at all.
He don't have the morals to talk to them, you know. Can you understand me?
You remember when the People's National Party had 2 guest artists on one of their campaigns down there, I believe in Southwest St. Anne's, where the Danishka is the representative for PNP, and the entertainers had cursed some bad words or something like that, and remember right after Marlene Malahoo ran out and she said no place for vulgarity in politics.
Yeah, man, they make a big
All of
issue
them
about
silent
it.
now. When you have a sitting MP taking a platform publicly who sit down and make laws for land and who for remove from the Integrity Commission from who not for remove. And him that has cussed up the whole heap of expletive them, you know.
Yeah, man, so
And them not see nothing wrong with that.
You're not supposed to depend on, and you see how long the Integrity Commission is asking for him to be removed from the Oversight Committee, and now the Prime Minister can't remove him. Because the Prime Minister can't talk to nobody in that party. Because once you're a leader and you are compromised, you can't talk to nobody again. So a compromised leader, we don't need that. We need a firm leader like Mark Wool. That means if you do something wrong, you got to pack your bag and go.
Same so. Same so.
You understand what I say to you? We don't have no room for that. We don't run a parliament of us. We run a parliament of class. We want class people. You know, the portfolio and put them on them all in a dial bars and one of them out of the league, them can't manage the battle. Them out of them league, them out of them league. This a league past them. But the analog thing done with. Them not computerized. Them don't know where I'm going. Them not come digital yet. They're far from being digital.
True.
You understand me? That's why Damon Crawford said dial bars need some buckle stopper and some stone to go count.
Yeah.
Him living a So we need the time come now, we need a change of government, man. We need a change of government. We need different, we need ideas, we need people, we need to put people in place. We can do the thing that to grow the country.
We're competent.
So the country can develop.
Yeah.
Because if you look over there, you know, the minister of finance not ready yet. The minister of education should already need that too. The minister of transport and work him far from ready. Far from being ready. Him that, and the prime minister have one whole heap of them in his office. Him doesn't have space to even breathe. Him full of so much ministry. You have to wonder.
True.
And him do so much business. How him can do the time? How him can find enough time to do the work of the country? Yes, was the country that this problem, you know, so much pothole, so much things are happening. Price of living gone sky high. You can't buy food to eat nowadays. So I say no man, we need a change, man. We need a change of government, man. We need a change, man. We need change, man. We need somebody who care about the people. We need a house to the people. People can't live now in a house today in Jamaica. Nobody can't get a house. It costs rent for gone up. You can imagine that somebody renting a 2-bedroom house. We had 100,000, nearly 100,000, 70,000, 80,000, 90,000 2-bedroom house. The damn thing they're not easy with the people, man.
True, that's too expensive. Only the rich people them can do that.
Only the average man not gonna survive.
True.
They gone bad now, man. We need changes, man. Time come now, man. And people don't make them use the money to rob the country and come bound as slave. Because that's what them plan to do, you know. Rob the country, use but the tax safe for the same money on the work, right now. And them draw tax them, you know. They come take it and bound as slave, they come vote for them, you know. So they can't make the mistake and tell them to vote and go vote for them.
True.
Me tell you something, you know, that 5 or that 10 or that 15 or that 20,000, you know, by your spin round 2 times that done that now use, you know. That came last year a month, you know. We can guarantee you that not even a week would that go last year.
True.
So out of a vote be a bell full, or for vote for 5 years of development in their life where you can achieve and get something, where you rather? Which one you rather?
Choice is up to them. The people have the power. Yeah.
So if you want to make the mistake and keep them a man in a parliament same way, go ahead, keep them down to them polio and run down the country same way. It's up to Uno.
So true.
So if you don't want here, and if you don't want have no years, And if you don't have no eyes to see, you can't stay there. Make them man a trick, you know, like 3 card man. So you can't stay there. Because these men don't know nothing about governance.
Not at all. True.
No good governance in our country. When you can't look on the man, when you can't look on the man and do all the man and do the FID, that's undo all these things, undo the integrity commission, and undo all these things, tell them to quote and do all these things. The thing to protect the population, the man them are mashed down, so them can get a scotch with everything or anything. You don't realize the man don't care about the poor people, don't care one of them pocket with them and them family and them picnic. And them friend them. Only a few are benefit. Only thing gonna see nothing yet. You see the man them can't pay nobody so much pension I can't get their pension.
My God.
Make them money win back on something. Make them money win something there. You know somebody stop police there, everybody gonna stop for overtime. No them can't pay overtime, nobody no money. The man them rob every cent the country broke.
My God.
I rebuild, we have to go make my goal and rebuild it from scratch. We have to give him time to build back this country. See if we can get it back in order. So we can go out, so we can move forward. These men are not politicians. These men are a set of gangsters and criminals. Just look and see them behave like members of parliament. Man, I use stool and beat them woman. Man, I come from parliament and I tell anything what come out of them mouth. Man, I tell about racism. They might draw racism card.
Nasty politics them a play.
Nasty politics. You know, so the man do it. If you can't also find him a flag with the man tear down and billboard with the man mash up. Then for sure the dirty politics the man pay. You want them complaints for them billboard and for them to tear down because PMP don't play them dirty game there. And them alone behave them way there. Time come here, my sister.
All right, my brother.
Come.
Definitely
and
so.
And people don't make a mistake. Go out and vote and make sure you put the X squarely beside the head. Make no mistake. All right.
That is
That's
it.
my final warning to you.
Thank you, my brother. Big up yourself.
Yeah. Bless yourself, too. Hey, there.
Big up to Pastor Ricky Music. Big up yourself, Pastor Ricky. Big up Yvette Thompson. Please to like up the live and share out the live. You be our family. In the meantime, we don't know, so we have to go and play out the biggest, baddest tune right now. And that is the Blood and Fire Comrade song. We have them weak in the knees. 1 PNP. Big up JS. Big up to Joe. Blessed day, my caller. You're live on the ABR show.
Good afternoon, my darling. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
And how do you do?
I'm all right.
How do you do?
I'm good.
Giving thanks. Giving thanks.
Definitely.
You know what? I want to put my little input, about this little video that you play with Darrell Vaz. I don't understand one thing what he was saying, nothing at all, because what he's saying that they're gonna sign a new contract with someone else.
No, he's basically saying that he was basically saying that they're not gonna relicense under the same under the how the contract is now as it pertains to JPS, and they are looking at potential other entities to bring in the country for the whole electricity and all of that. So it's not like they're gonna boot out JPS. But let us wait and see, because we still not hear them talk about the big power plants and all of that where them did a ride pan from 2015. So let us wait and see what plans them have in store. Or what will come of this negotiation. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that Margolin should investigate and let them say what and who are these company or people who's gonna do that part, because it as we see it, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Because when I listen to what Paul have said, from 2 years back,
Yes.
these things should come true already.
They should have started the negotiation 2 years back.
Yes, yeah, why now? Right on the last little dying moment. Why now? And they are so strong with their lies and wrongs. I never see such people in God earth here, so strong with their lies. They are so strong with their lies and wrongs and just want to take people for what they want to take people for. Mighty God, I never see people is so dangerous.
My
and
God.
Mr. Warmington, we're asking you, sir, if you have any character whatsoever left, you would step aside. You is nothing good for this country. You are a disgrace to this country. St. Catherine, I am from Yorton. Yorton in St. Catherine.
Yeah.
And I would never like to see that man face on that side. Never. Because this guy they carry around there, they call him Amos. I don't know what he come for. I don't know because he's like I'm losing on a rolling battle going down a hill.
Jeez,
So I don't know what they carry him for. You know, but these people are so disgraceful. But I want to send out a special invitation to all the people who will sit down in this country and talking about they are not gonna vote and they are not taking part in politics. Affects everyone's life here in this country.
Tell them again for me now. Tell them again, no man.
Yes, everyone's life it affects. So they can sit down and what God give them and talk about that they are not going to take part in politics and they are not PRNRJ. You have to be something. If we put this going in and they farm fool, we dash them out also.
Yes, man.
This one must dead and buried because they are no good. They are the greatest people I've ever seen and heard of. Never. Because when I see the way how people were going on with the KFC deal, it move every string in my ear when I see what's happening. How people is going on, you know, for something like that, what can do harm to their body. Great harm, and they're behaving like that, and they'll curse you if you say anything about them and their KFC. But I want them to take heed. Take heed is not the same day the leaf drop of the water. It
rot.
rotten.
All right then.
Yeah. So I want all these undecided voters to take a stand. Take a stand against this evil government. Have a good day, my sis.
All right, my brother. Thanks for your input. Big up yourself.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Well said from that gentleman right there. ABR family, please to go over to Pastor Ricky's YouTube channel. It's called the Politics Corner TV. Please go over there and support his YouTube channel. The Politics Corner TV. Support the movement to know that Pastor Ricky already has his name out there. He has been speaking up against the atrocities of the people of Jamaica as it pertains to this government. And so I want you all to support his platform, get him to 1,000 subscribers. Remember to support the Martha's Couponing Foundation. That charity foundation supports children with back-to-school supplies in Jamaica. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel and get them to continue this charity program. Blessed day, Pastor Ricky. You're live on the ABR show.
Yeah, man, blessings, my sister, my friend, Lady ABR. Them can't steer near them off a draw far.
All right, then.
How you doing?
I'm
Big
good.
respects to you and your channel and your audience.
Likewise.
Thank you so much. Yeah, man, Duraval's them, they don't have any business skills, you know. They're criminals. And so when you look at the used car dealership thing with Flop, the JUTC bus, what them get with 460 bus, and them flop it, and it in a bankruptcy now. Them down to 200 bus. Them roll out with one school bus and behave like Frightened Friday. I know that one school bus can't carry all of the youth them. I know now I'm come out with a fuzzy maths where him claims that
28,000
are gonna be traveling on 100 bus, which is false. That will never happen. That's them need way more bus than that. But pressure been reaching them for start negotiation, which them should have did a couple months or a year or so ago.
Yeah.
But them dead and busy in a peaker. I look for information on Comrade Leader Mark Golding's skin. Think that can help them win election.
Yes.
Them busy. I try discredit Wayne Ban. Things that can help them win elections. So the whole of them incompetent. Vaz, him wife, all of them incompetent, and that's why Portland have a switch back to the People's National Party. Now, as it relates to JPS, them own 19% in JPS.
Yeah, the government. Yeah.
Right. So when JPS are charge people all these extra money and I run up them light bill, the government make money off it. Because them a part owner in the company. But them not gonna tell the people them that, so them not really care. And that's why them don't have any strict, them don't put pressure upon OUR for mandate that JPS bring down the prices of electricity, and the prices are so high that foreign investors don't want to come to Jamaica to build up any company and do a business because the overhead expense are gonna be too high. And the people them are feel it. 30% of JPS customers are thief light. Them can't afford it. So he's a field energy minister. He's a field transportation minister. He's a field person. He's a field MP.
Big time.
He's a criminal. Yeah, the US revoked him visa in 2019 because the criminal prime minister sent him go Mexico go collect kickback money from the Moonlight Palace Resort, which them undervalue. And the US flag him for them thing there and give him so in 2022 him apply for a visa and then give him a 1 year waiver visa.
Yeah.
And the nominal number is on the visa. Anybody can plug it in a certain database, and it shows the persons that get those type of visas. It says are persons of illicit enrichment and money laundering. So them man, they are criminal. Him not supposed to be in a representative politics, and a long time we tell the people them because we're not afraid of them. They are corrupt to the max. And here 2 more people gone on the illicit enrichment list by the IC. I feel say I'm one of them. Yeah, man. Because, yeah, man. And me have the right of my speculation because them hide information. So it leave the public to speculate.
True. Every one of them over on that side, they are suspect until we know.
49 of them, you have to suspect them till them release the name them. So we have freedom of speech, our constitutional rights, and them can't stop we from scrutinize and criticize them because that's entrenched in the Constitution.
Yes.
And we're not afraid of them. So them running on and intimidate people because them don't want people to talk the truth. As if we are going to be afraid. Them might be done for the people, them are Portland, but them are not done for Iman. Yeah,
all right then.
So right now, yeah, we're not afraid of them. Them can't intimidate you because we have lawyer too and we know lawyer. Our lawyer is guided by the Constitution. But back to Vaz. Right now, them are panic. And for rush out this morning to keep a press briefing was a election ploy, a desperation, because it wasn't necessary. Why waste government resources, the media time when them could have done them investigational journalism to come say you are going to not sign the deal with JPS, you're going to invite others to come to the table. That could be a regular press release.
True.
Or if I could have go up on them favorite GLP radio station go say that. Them never need. But again, them internal polls show so them are lose and them they're behind and them are gonna get defeated by a landslide massive victory by the People's National Party. So these are just election ploy, election. Him claim him as a strategist, but them strategy would have worked like 20 years ago when people wasn't educated and informed. No disrespect, because technology has increased knowledge. And so people now have information at the tip of their fingertips on them phone, them tablet, them iPad, or a click of the mouse on them desktop, them laptop. So people are well informed more, and that them don't understand. Them living in an analog age, as Shaka Fame said, we're living in a digital age. So that defeat them. Social media defeat them. So them are panic now, and them run out this morning. A waste of time. What new him said? Absolutely nothing. We learned nothing new this morning other than that them about to start the negotiation.
Yeah.
That was not necessarily, that wasn't, our press conference was not necessary. A waste, a panic, them a panic. I sat up them, him and him wife a fret. Them put down like a mile upon a road and she come out of the upscotch. Are you serious?
Dancing
Friday,
queen.
One school bus and she turned Friday like children at Christmas time. And the school bus not ready because you can't have the door on the left hand side when Jamaica drive on the right hand side, because then you're gonna have children will come out and you might have accident. Children get lit by a car. So it's a safety hazard, and you can't have the school bus overcrowded either. You have to have the people them sit down, because these are children and safety is the #1 priority.
True.
When you're transporting children. In America, any driver of a bus overcrowded with picnic, them get fired immediately and prosecuted. So them not have no commons, them not have no logics, them not have no competence of how to run business. The only thing them have competence is for steal taxpayers' money. Them are criminal, man. So that's my contribution and first time on your program. And thank you so much, and God bless you. And we look forward to enjoy more.
All right, then big up yourself, Pastor Ricky. Thanks for calling. Thanks for your input.
Bye-bye.
Big up. Well said there from Pastor Ricky. A mouthful from Pastor Ricky right there. You know, blasting this government on their incompetence and the corruption and criminal behavior of this government. Time come.
You're going to hear all kinds of propaganda. You're going to hear all kinds of lies and deception. They're the tactics used to try and buy you out. They're the tactics used to try and frighten you away. And I only have to say one thing to you tonight, comrades. We are blood and fire comrades, and we're marching on to progress. And we will stand firm. We will not be bought because we are not for sale.
Big up yourself, Richard Reed. Big up Nathaniel Brown. Big up to all the moderators on the live. Big up to all the members of the membership. Angela, Yvonne Wallace, and Charm B. Please support the membership as well. The link is in the chat. Remember, the orange is ripe, so we are going to juice it. 1 PNP, 1 Mark Golding. A leader with integrity. A leader of substance. A leader that walks the walk and talk the talk. All the young social media warriors, up and coming social media warriors, when you can drop on a link in the live chat. ABR family and viewers, please to support the other social media warriors platform. Like, share, and subscribe to them. Big up yourself, Paul Bogle. Big up to everybody. We are run back the tune. For those who want to support the platform, you can do so through the Zelle. It's up there at the top of the chat at my email. And if you want to bless up the channel as well, you can send in super chat, super thanks. 1 UB comrade. Big up to all the silent watchers. Big up to those who, keep the live chat active, and big up to those who support the channel. Please like up the videos and like up the live them, and give YouTube that opportunity to send them out. We want the message to go far and wide. So when we ask, please, we need at least 1,000 or 2,000 dedicated persons who will come on the videos, watch the videos them, and like and share them out, so that YouTube can send it out through the algorithm. Big up again. Thanks for the continued support on the channel. Thanks for the continued support on the platform. As we get more information, me I keep on up to date. So stay tuned at all times. The word is love. Big up yourself, my sis, Valerie God Favor. One more time, Richard. Say, we have to lick it back.
you're going to hear all kinds of propaganda. You're going to hear all kinds of lies and deception. There are the tactics used to try and buy you out. There are the tactics used to try and frighten you away. And I only have to say one thing to you tonight, comrades. We are blood and fire comrades, and we're marching on to progress. And we will stand firm. We will not be bought because we are not for sale.
Big up yourself, Neil Johnson, Devontae, Don, Joan Bailey, Missy T. Big up yourself, Leroy Mullings. I'm gonna say one more of this and then I'm out. Remember, the word is and will always be love. One Marky G.
No things at all. Come in this up. But I'm on but when you stop and take out the fast, is a whole heap of things to make a laugh, but not patrol. When you run from a problem, it never stops. No man wants to get involved at all. We sit down and ball. Come in, Mr. Goldie. I'm on ball, yeah. I'm on ball, yeah. I'm America. Go America. No way, sir. Paraguay. I'm the second fool, yeah. See Jamaica. Yes, no. I fly today to Miami. No, me not came to the sun. As long as man give labor and his work is burning, there's not a man can move me from my life. So, are you Jamaicans gone abroad? When last you shake higher, remember Sarkis with Pulla and Pier, born a slip with a ice cold beer at school. It's no bad at all.
Easy. Big up on yourself, everybody. I'm out.